Welcome to the grand adventure of crafting knights, led by Dags and empowered by the Jewelers Gaming Guild. Today we embrace the valorous path of the knight, exploring the endless possibilities of knight builds. With each piece of armor and every blade forged by RNG, a new legend is born. Follow Dags into the fray as we don the armor of potential and wield the sword of destiny. Are you ready to stand resolute and valiant? Let the crafting commence.
Alright, so we got Dags here today and we are building another knight. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself real quick, Dags, in case somebody doesn't know you out there.
Sure, my name's Dags. I'm one of the leaders of the Jewelers Guild, and I like combat and I like building. So, Dan, it looks like we're building one of my favorite heroes today. Take it away, man. What do we have?
Alright, so we got a knight build. It looks like your build name for this one is Might Knight. So go ahead and give us a quick description of why you chose that name for it.
Yeah, this is going to be a double knight build where they're just both hammering with Mighty Strike. It sounds dumb, but it's a ton of fun.
So is this kind of like your version of like a double knight or a double archer or triple archer type build?
Yeah, it has.
Knights?
Yeah, it has a little more staying power, and it doesn't have any amnesia. As of recording this, March 21st, 2024, there's no amnesia on Mighty Strike. So, yeah, you can just keep swapping it back and forth between the two knights. And then as one of them gets weak, you just shift it to the second slot and have the stronger one move out front. You can pair this with a healer. You can pair it with an archer, too, which when you pair this with an archer, it gets real crazy.
Nice. So it looks like here you're a little more precise on what you're looking for your sub. The other night build, you were looking for mainly, what do you want to call those, tank classes, and then the other one, it was kind of like you didn't care. So this one, it looks like you're a little more picky on it. So fill me in on why.
Yeah, the only difference there is we're dipping into dexterity. So a lot of the damage classes, they still have that strength, endurance, vitality, and but this actually means the knight has to start hitting their targets. So we do want to dip into that dexterity a little bit.
All right, so that's why you're picking the more ranged and melee type attacks, because they're going to have that bigger boost to the dexterity.
Yep. So like if you get a subclass of like a ninja or an archer, it's actually helpful for this class instead of a hindrance.
All right, so here we got abilities. It looks like you got a fair list here. So now none of these are available yet, but give me the reason why we're looking at these in the future for when they do become available.
Sure, these are all active abilities that increase your damage, or of course, Second Wind and Resurrection, they give you heals. I did not include Giant Slayer on this because the stipulation for Giant Slayer is it has to have less health than you. You're not going to run into that much with a knight. And then the passive abilities just are keeping you from those debuffs, or either. Oh no, I did include Giant Slayer. I think we need to delete that Giant Slayer on the passive. Why was I thinking Giant Slayer active? Whatever. Moving on. I don't think we're going to be utilizing Giant Slayer, so we want to delete that. But otherwise than that, it's just keeping you from getting debuffed or giving kind of basic additional damage to your attack. This is a DPS build that happens to be a beefy one.
All right. So let's not focus too much on that. Let's get down here to our abilities. So it shows here you got a stone, and it looks like you put your stone on Vitality, but you do have some other options here. So why is our main choice Vitality?
As I did mention earlier, you do want to give yourself the option to do this without a healer. And so the best way to kind of do that is to have kind of a bonus in vitality early in the beginning. We do go a few levels where vitality goes kind of like set it and forget it, and then we come back to it. But if you can grab a few of those vitality boosts when you're not focusing on it, it is helpful, and it just gives more staying power to the build.
All right. So it looks like growth, you kind of got the same premise there. You're just focusing on the vitality again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is like kind of, I said, just anything on growth. You want the vitality, but take anything you can get, even intelligence, which is strange for a knight build, but we'll talk more about that later.
All right, so are we into later now that we're talking levels 1 through 5? Because I noticed you've got some intellect in there. You got some interesting choices here. So go ahead and fill me in on that one.
So much like vitality, where you want to build it early, we want to build the intelligence early. This is a mighty strike build. You're going to be using mana almost every attack, so you have to build that mana pool. And your subclasses should be damage or pretty much physical attackers. So we're kind of relying on the boosts of the physical attackers to kind of fill in some of the stats that you might miss, you're by not selecting dexterity, agility, or endurance. So it might feel weird to go intelligence in the beginning, but this is kind of a gimmicky build, so you should expect to see some gimmicks out there. And with a knight, I think we did shoot for that 22 intelligence to get the +2 every level at least to your mana. So we're just trying to get that mana pool as big as possible so you can just keep mighty striking your enemies to hell. Vitality, like we said, gives you some survivability, and then strength. Your mighty strike does do bonus damage with your strength, so we want to jack that up when we're trying to do this.
All right, so this is basically, we're putting vitality in there, so our health build is going to be basically on autopilot, and then you got the intelligence because you don't want to be doing any basic attacks. You want to be doing all your serious attacks. Mm-hmm. Do I got that correct?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
All right. I noticed you said target 20 to vitality.
Yep.
So that's important, so we get that auto vitality through the rest of the build, right? Or auto health.
Right. Yeah, it's just kind of a sweet spot with a lot of my heavy physical damage classes. And then we want to go on kind of autopilot for a little bit, because if you look at level 6, we do start putting the crystal on strength, but we're trying to get more dexterity. This is a mighty strike build. You have to hit. So target for now is 15 intelligence by level 10. Not really the end of the world if you don't hit it. But we kind of move into that where everything's the same, right? We want at least 3 dexterity points, and then we're going to switch it over from the bonus stat to the Gaia's Blessing and Dexterity at level 9, hoping that we can still hit enough of those. And did I leave a target for dexterity? Probably 20.
See where you did.
Okay, I probably meant to say a dexterity target of 20 if you can get it.
All right. Is that at level 5 or where we got that?
By 10. Probably by 10 if you can get it. Target of...
Yeah, you just got Inta's target of 15.
Okay, yeah. And maybe, you know what? Maybe it's not... Let's see. What's the base? Nah, I'm not going to worry about it. Maybe Dex isn't 20 there. Maybe there it's more like a 17. I don't know if 20 is realistic right now.
So you want me to switch that to 17?
Yeah, let's do about a 17 there, because we're just starting to boost the dexterity.
That's at level 10.
Yeah.
All right. So I noticed like 9 through 12, you're pretty much you're just still hammering that strength and dex and intelligence.
Yep, strength and dex is so important for Mighty Strike, and then intelligence is important to build the mana pool.
All right, so this is not a meat shield at all.
And that's why you're going to be finding yourself swapping the 2 knights at some point.
All right, so go ahead and you've got it switching up. It looks like level 13 you've got off of intelligence. So I have a feeling you feel that at this point mana should be set where it needs to be at, and just let it naturally grow.
Yeah, hopefully you're at a point in this where you can get it to that 22 naturally. Maybe around level 16 it might hit there. Hopefully, because you're just asking for, at that point you'll just be asking for maybe 2 points of 2 or 3 points of intelligence by then. We bring back the vitality. Once you start getting up into those at level 12, you're into those boss fights where they start doing significantly more damage, and you really can't just ignore your vitality anymore. We continue to ignore endurance because once we're done, hopefully we've hit our dex target by this point. So hopefully by level 14, you have 20 dex or more. Can you add that to the notes for me? At level 14, a target of 20 dex. Hopefully you're there.
All right, target of 20 dex.
Yep, and hopefully you're there by that point. You can kind of pull off of dex and add some points to agility. Knights aren't fast, and we're relying on them to hit, so you might want to... I personally think you're going to want a little bit more speed so that you can move along that time bar more efficiently and get more hits in. And then we kind of switch off to endurance. And I did have a target of 22 intelligence by level 20. There it is, right there. Nice. Good job, Dags. I feel like at this point, our dexterity is where we want it. We're still pushing strength. We're bringing back vitality. That end there where it is endurance and the end where it's agility, these two can be swapped or intermingled however you want. If you want to take those agility points, move them away from agility and move them all into endurance, or if you want to move all of this into agility, you do have this freedom here. Or if you want to put them all into luck, we're pretty much giving up on any defense we might get from wisdom. Hell, if you want to move them more into intelligence, right? Your Gaia's Blessing with this last one, you have a little more freedom on the last 6 levels, but we still want to be pushing strength and vitality.
Yeah, you just want that damage. So I noticed you got nothing in luck.
Yep. We're not going for crits. We're not.
No crits on this one, huh?
I think the bonuses that you get for strength will outweigh the bonuses that you would get for a crit on this. That's kind of how I feel personally. And I don't remember the damage modifier to Mighty Strike. But this whole build is kind of built around that. Let me I can check really quick. That would kind of give us some answers. Oh no, that would make me sign in. So never mind. But I thought there was a strength modifier that you add to Mighty Strike. I think that was this one.
Well, I can look real quick. So that's the knight abilities. Looks like, whoop, I don't know what I did there. So it says Mighty Strike deals 1.4 attack plus 10 to strength raw damage to target.
Okay, yeah, so you're adding your strength modifier, so that's why we're jacking that strength up, because it'll just increase our Mighty Strike damage, and it does a piercing damage debuff. So if you were to have these 2 knights and pop an archer behind them, they're going to feast. So
yeah. And it looks like you also get some bonuses for target defense and all that too.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. So
this is why you built strength so strong, is for this one move right here.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's kind of gimmicky. But from what I've used, I've had a blast with this build. So
I can't wait to see you show us some battles with that. That'll be fun. So any of these other things in here, any notes that you want to share with us on here? And it looks like a little different between Mother Cluckers and the Boars?
Yeah, so let's start with the Boars. You have your Mighty Strike. You have For the King, because For the King increases your strength. So that just makes your Mighty Strike even stronger. Forever Vigilant, you're gonna have high dexterity, so actually hitting with that move and getting the daze chance. Since your dex is so high, you're gonna have good odds on that. So you might as well take it to interrupt. If you're interrupting a wild charge or something like that. So, I mean, you're not really going to be having a lot of heals here. There's a solid chance that, you could wipe the whole boar team without taking another wild charge, especially if you daze that mom. Ironclad Defense just adds to it's another passive that's a passive. Just boosts your stats a little bit more. And Battle Ready, you're probably not going to need, but it increases your base attack damage by 10%. You're going to have the high dexterity, so you're going to be able to hit. You might as well boost that basic attack damage if you find yourself at a point where you do run out of mana. So, and then when we move into the Cluckers, we're still taking Mighty Strike, still have For the King. We've changed Forever Vigilant to hold the line. You can only attack the front line with your knights. So having the ability to shift your opponents around and bring the next in line up to the front is really important for this build, because you're not going to be able to hit that back row or that second row. So if you're not with an archer or you're not with a ranged attacker, you're kind of locked into the front row, which could make this fight a little bit more difficult than it has to be. But I've found that if I bring one of the chicks up to the front and I burn it and I just keep that egg dead, I have a lot of success. And then once Mama is in that second row and the front egg is dead, if you time it perfectly, you can push her back, bring the back chick forward, kill it, burn down Mom, and you win. It takes a little bit of brain power, but it's totally doable. And you have to understand the mechanics of the battle to do that. And then you can take Ironclad Defense. If you're not confident with Hold the Line, you can take Shield Smash, which is another push ability. Okay, so if I don't really use Shield Smash, I like Ironclad Defense. I like the bonuses that it gives. But if you're not confident with Hold the Line and it's not pushing the way you want it to, you can take Shield Smash and it'll give you more ability to move the opponents around. And then I take Battle Ready because that just adds to your basic attack damage if you didn't finish them off before you run out of mana. So, and this is just supposed to be like a gimmicky and fun build that kind of starts pushing you into that more kind of advanced thought with using heroes the way you didn't think you were supposed to. But there is massive damage on a dual Mighty Strike build if you can hit. So if you can hit is the key there, because your strength is just going to be so jacked.
So right now we only have the Boar Hunts and the Mad Mother Cluckers.
Right.
So what do you think the chances of this build being successful in PvP?
So it has the ability, I think for PvP, instead of you might want to actually mix Forever Vigilant so you can get a daze and the Shield Bash, because then you can start disrupting formations. And I got a feeling that the middle line is going to be very squishy. So if you can shove their front line back, and I think you're just going to be able to burn down the middle line. I think. So I think it's going to be a shove and then Mighty Strike, and you're kind of going to catch them with their pants down. So I think this. I don't think it'll be a staple build, but I think it's going to be like if people see this, they're just going to be like, oh, damn it, I'm not ready for this kind of thing. I could beat it, but I wasn't ready for this. People are going to look at it and be like, why? So like best of 10, I mean, there's ways around this, right? But I think if you see it like once every 10 battles, I think it's going to piss people off.
And isn't that part of PvP is pissing them off?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, weird build. You're really just kind of forgetting about the defensive capabilities of the knight. And you might get lucky. You might have some rolls where they are super tanky, but you're just going for damage. And, once they think that knight's dead, just switch it with the other knight and just be annoying.
All right. So any other thoughts on this build? I really look forward to seeing you do some battles with this.
Yeah, I have to be honest, like I didn't really think about this build until a lot of my knights were already built. So I was putting 2 knights who just happened. One of them was a Dark Knight sub because they have such a high intelligence boost on the subclass that really showed me like, oh, I can do this. So I am probably going to end up burning 2 heroes and building it off of this chart with the high intelligence. Because I want to see like the true build with the high mana pool. So I'm looking forward to this one too. And I think this is the first gimmick build, the first cheese that we've brought. So.
All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up here. Do you have any other final thoughts? Anything else you want to mention?
No. I think I'll give you a break on this closeout here. This chart will be available. It'll be in the description of the video. It'll also be in the Jewelers Guild, and we're just scratching the surface here. So if you have more questions, come to the Jewelers Guild, find us, ask us questions.
All right. And if anyone else wants to add some builds in here, please reach out to me. We can go on some streams together and we can see what you guys have. But we do have plenty other builds here. So thanks, guys, for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can find the rest of these. And have a good day.